Here we are, the famous bridge. Oh no, why? Hey, I didn't expect the water to be going that way. I didn't expect the water to be going that way. You did? Oh, I didn't. Oh, just have a quick look at that. Used to get red ones and blue ones of those. I don't know why I'm pointing the camera. I don't need to point the camera. Right, okay. So, if I put that, no.
What were you expecting?
So this is the famous damage.
I can't even see what they've done.
This is it. It's this corner. I'll put that down there so it's steady. I think steady camera's on anyway. That is the corner that he cleared.
I don't understand what they've done. He's coming round the corner.
Yeah.
What did it used to do? And what has he done? It's not even straight.
I'll show you the pictures.
I'm stood here on the banks of a ditch that goes past the back of our farmyard. Over the years it's silted up. Years ago we used to have a body called the National River Authority. It used to get in the river and the ditches and clean them out to keep the water flowing, just like they do in Holland. For millennium, man has tamed watercourses, straightened them, moved them in order to produce food and live next to them or use the water for power. A couple of years ago a guy was getting frustrated that his stream, ditch, river, whichever you want to call it, was that silted up. It was flooding his farm and it was flooding the village. He spoke with the EA, he spoke with I think Natural England about clearing it out. It was quite bureaucratic. He just got on and did it before the rain came. They basically saw their arse, prosecuted him. He went to court last week and he's now been fined hundreds of thousands of pounds and sent to prison for 12 months. Now this guy is not a dangerous man. This guy has just protected the village. You know, if you're going to lock people up that are dangerous to society, not someone that got on and did the job of someone else to protect the village. I know his frustration. I've worked with these organisations over the years and no one in them actually wants to make a decision. It's a slow process.
There's a civil service civil war over rivers in England, and landowners are the innocent civilians in the firing line. This is work to prevent bank erosion on the River Tone in Somerset, carried out by the local farmer, with support from the Countryside Stewardship Scheme, so sanctioned by DEFRA. At the River Lugg in Herefordshire in 2020, Natural England and the Environment Agency attacked a farmer for clearing the overgrown banks of the river. The farmer, 66-year-old John Price, says he carried out the works to prevent erosion. Even angling bodies are attacking Mr Price.
There isn't much joined up thinking, and there is a failure to enforce. Therefore, farmers, or whoever they might be, think that they can take things into their own hands and do work. It may also be that the Environment Agency and the other bodies gave the wrong indicators to the farmers and led them to believe they could do what they could do. I mean, it seems quite clear, you know, on a basis of common sense, that if you've got a protected site, you don't chop down all the trees, you don't redirect the river, you don't dig it out and canalise it. You know, obviously there's going to be environmental damage, and if it's a protected site, it's more sensitive than others, so don't do it.
However, Mr Price says the Environment Agency asked him to clear the undergrowth. Back in Somerset, farmer Ashley Vellicott explains his works.
Yes, so this is just a fraction of some of the timber that we've extracted this winter. And it's great stuff. Although it's water older, stack it for 6 months, it's brilliant firewood, but all of this is going to be chipped and used for biomass for heating and burning. Before we actually came in here and started felling and tidying up, I mean, there was just masses and masses of timber all overhanging the river. Quite a lot of the larger stools were going to become a problem in a very, very short space of time because of the maturity and the weight and the possible effects of erosion and them landing in the river. And we've now created you know, a nice piece of river where they can come and fly cast, catch their wild brown trout, but we've still maintained some timber, habitat and shade for birds and fish.
And what about getting Natural England and the Environment Agency involved?
neither of those bodies got involved at all. It is purely to do with FWAG was the point of contact. Countryside Stewardship, which is obviously a part of DEFRA, are the people that produce the paperwork and authorise it all.
There is no single government agency in charge of rivers or river catchments. What's now the Environment Agency removed the role of river warden, so there is little local official responsibility. The water companies, formerly water boards, are mainly interested in extraction,
Georgia Helm lives by the River Lugg in Herefordshire. It's a European protected river and a site of special scientific interest, but despite that, it's become the most polluted river in the county. One of the major reasons for this is sewage being pumped straight into the Lugg. In England last year, water companies released untreated sewage into our rivers for a total of 3.1 million hours. Georgia's been investigating why this is happening and how climate change is making the problem worse.
In February 2020, my family farm experienced the worst floods in more than 100 years. We desperately scrambled to save our heavily pregnant ewes and lambs from drowning. On that day, the water rose up above this gate to my chest level. But it was what was left behind after the water receded that really worried us. Human waste, sewage, and wet wipes contaminated this field, and it was all from here, the River Lugg. The Lugg runs beside our farm in Fordbridge near Leicester. It's the most polluted river in Herefordshire. So what's causing the problem? This is a combined storm overflow, or CSO as it's known for short. This dumps untreated sewage directly into the river. This one is just over a mile upstream from our farm.
It's really, really serious. The river is very sick.
Kate Speak-Adams is from the Wyonusk Foundation, a charity which is working to try and improve the quality of Herefordshire's rivers.
The nutrient levels are double what they should be. It's the worst in Herefordshire in terms of its phosphate levels. The water crowfoot is gone pretty much. There's a few little bits left. The fish that survive in that habitat really suffer. There's a housing moratorium that's impacting on the economy because of the condition of this river. You know, for Herefordshire, it's the most important issue that we face.
This effluent is coming from Leicester Sewage Treatment Works, run by Welsh Water. They say last year they used this CSO 66 times. In the 45 minutes we were there, they released contaminated water into the Lugg on 5 occasions.
From an environmental damage point of view, CSOs from the data we've got are not really causing a big problem, but under no circumstances are we satisfied with that. They are unsightly and they can cause other issues. The sewage may have bacteria in it, so we're absolutely determined to tackle the problem of CSOs. But that means re-engineering all of our drainage networks, and that's going to take time and a lot of money.
As a farmer's daughter, I know that agriculture is also a major source of water pollution. But farmers like Tony Norman in Lyons Hall are frustrated that their hard work to tackle the problem is not being helped when water companies keep doing this.
In theory, all the sewage is treated in this works and before it goes into the stream. Unfortunately, we're finding at times that there's considerably more phosphate gets into the stream from the sewage treatment works than should happen.
Growing up on this riverbank, I've watched a beautifully diverse ecosystem slowly die. Now is the time that we need to act to save our rivers. Georgia Helm, BBC Midlands Today, Leicester.
I wrote this poem in response to the wanton destruction that's just occurred along the River Lugg. It's called Song of the Lugg Farmer. It's already been made into a song by the wonderful Ed Finch, and at some point, Ed, I will learn your lovely melody so that I can sing it too, but I thought it was worth just putting it up as a poem. Song of the Lugg Farmer. I own the land, I'm bold as brass. If you don't like it, kiss my arse. The fur, the feather, leaf and trunk are just a load of useless junk that's in my way, and what is worse, they're never going to line my purse. I'll cut and slash and burn and dig. I tell you, I don't give a fig for you and all your city ways. I know the land. I know what pays. You think the law will come for me? I went to school with my MP. You say that you don't understand why I should want to rape the land. But rape's always been the tool of choice to stop the mouth of any voice that challenges my sacred right to do exactly what I like. I'll shove Mother Nature in the dirt. I'll tear her hair and lift her skirt. I won't be told cease and desist by you, you hippie communist. The fur, the feather, leaf and trunk, they're just a load of useless junk. I own the land. I'm bold as brass. If you don't like it, kiss my arse.
Last week was the hottest and sunniest we've had all summer long, at least up until now. On days like these, I like to spend as much time outdoors as I can. And we are so very lucky that we live in the middle of beautiful and quiet countryside, surrounded mostly by birdsong and the leaves rustling in the wind. So one evening last week we decided to go on a walk to our local lakes for a wild swim. It's one of my absolute favourite places in our area, especially in summer. I like to jump in naked, feeling nothing but the cool water on my skin. There's something so exhilarating and freeing about wild swimming. If you haven't tried it and you have access to a body of water somehow, somewhere, I would so very much recommend it. Once I'm submerged in the lake, it's really quite hard for me to get out of the water again. I feel like I turn into a water creature or something. I usually swim and float until I get too cold to bed for much longer. So after our swim, we explored the banks, soaking up the last of the evening sun and admiring all of the wild orchids growing around the lakes. It was such a glorious summer evening, filled with so much joy. And thank you so much for spending it with me. I really love sharing moments like these with you. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.